with that, it's my pleasure to introduce Andy Petro of our Centennial Challenges program. Andy.
Okay. There we go. Great. Okay, it might be time for some technical assistance. There we go. Okay. That's it. Thanks. Okay. With that, I'll begin the presentation today on the Centennial Challenges program. I'm Andrew Petro, and the Centennial Challenges program is an ongoing program that will now be part of the Office of the Chief Technologist in the Early Stage Innovation Division. And it is an example of a program where we are dealing with a different group of people as well as technologies. And this is a part of a pipeline not only of innovations and new ideas that we can bring into NASA's programs, but also a source of talent, a way to identify and recognize new talent and create new partners and new vendors, not only for NASA, but for the commercial space and aviation world. Okay, this is participatory research and development. The program began in 2003, and the title comes from the Centennial of the Wright brothers' first flight in 1903. And the Wright brothers are a model for the kind of innovators that we're looking for to engage with in this program. The goal is to tap into American ingenuity and to turn it loose on problems of interest to NASA and the nation. And we've had a wide variety of people that have participated, small businesses, entrepreneurs, students, and individual inventors. And an example of that, you see on the left a picture of Brian Turner from the Kansas City Space Pirates power beaming team. You see him there working in his garage at night. This is a photo from a New York Times Magazine article on the program. And then you see on the right, Brian and his Kansas City Space Pirates team at the 2009 Power Beaming Challenge out at Edwards Dry Lake Bed. And this team began using mirrors to reflect sunlight as their power beaming source at the beginning, and by 2009 we're using an 8 kilowatt laser and an automatic tracking system of their own design. So this is the kind of progression we've seen, the kind of thing we're hoping to encourage. The prizes were authorized by Congress in 2005. NASA is one of the few agencies with the prize authority currently. And we, in this program, only provide the prize money. The competitions are administered by nonprofit allied organizations, partners with us. And the allied organizations need to seek sponsors for their operating funds. So it's a very low-cost program for the government and a very good investment for the taxpayers. And we can also have sponsors, external sponsors, add to the prize money. That hasn't happened yet, but that would be a very positive development. We did have $10 million appropriated back in 2005, and that's been the basis of all of the challenges we've done to date. But in 2010, we had an additional $4 million appropriated, and that's what will allow us to begin 3 new challenges this year for the first time. And these funds do not expire, which is a very important factor in being able to run a multi-year program like this. The competitors can't be supported by government funding, and can only be U.S. citizens or U.S. entities. And that's a bit of a restriction, but on the other hand, it's really generally open to anyone. And an important factor is that the competitors maintain the ownership of their intellectual property. So that's an inducement for them, and something that's very important as part of this prize competition. And I wanted to also highlight the 5 allied organizations that we have worked with over the past years. Their dedication and passion for this is important, and they're essential to making this program work. Since 2005, we've had 19 competitions in 6 challenge areas. $4.5 million has been awarded to 13 different teams. So far, we have completed 3 of the challenges: the regolith excavation, lunar lander, and astronaut glove. And we still have ongoing the strong tether challenge, power beaming, and the green flight challenge. And for 2010, we will have 3 new challenges with $5 million available, and we'll be talking about those today. The success we've had so far has been recognized by the new administration. They are very interested in prizes and competitions. In a memo they sent out to all of the agencies in the federal government, encouraging development of prizes and competitions, they recognized what we've been able to do. The photos just show you the range of people involved in each of these competitions: aviation, the power beaming, lunar lander, and astronaut glove. And you see a photo on the right of Peter Homer, who's somewhat of a legend now in the Centennial challenges, and you see him working on his first gloves on his now famous dining room table. I'll talk a little bit about the benefits of each of these challenges in connection with some of the highlights to follow. I did want to mention, in the photograph you see a lunar lander built by a team consisting of only a father and son out in Mojave, California. And they were only the 3rd team to ever fly a vehicle from one pad to another. And along with all the benefits, there is an important part of educating and inspiring and motivating the public. And it's also motivating to NASA people to watch this. And these challenges take science and technology out of the textbook and out of the PowerPoint charts and into the real world. And these competitions really do involve the kind of drama and emotions that you would expect from any competition. There's exhilaration, there's heartbreak, there's a lot of excitement and fun, and a whole lot of learning that takes place. And just a few of the highlights from this past year, which was a very good year for the program. On the left you see some photos related to the Lunar Lander Challenge. In that challenge this year we had 2 winners, Maston Space Systems and Armadillo Aerospace. And Maston and Armadillo, among some others, were recognized by Aviation Week magazine as the Persons of the Year, the space entrepreneurs, and Dave Maston appeared on the cover. So that's a really high level of recognition for a small company just getting started in the space business. But both teams do have ongoing work as enterprises to build a space industry from what they began with in this program. And one important development is that NASA has actually purchased one of the lunar lander vehicles that Armadillo built for the competition and is using that now as a test bed for new technologies related to propulsion and control of vehicles. So that's a kind of transformative development that we hoped that would come out of a program like this, and we've seen that happen, and that's a very good thing. Up on the upper right, you see some photos from the regolith excavation challenge. We had this year 23 teams, so that's 23 working prototypes of lunar excavation devices that NASA has a chance to observe working or not working, and of course you learn as much from what doesn't work as what does. The team called Paul's Robotics was actually a team of college students from Worcester Polytech, came in first, won $500,000, immediately started their own company, and that's again the kind of success story we like to see in this program. In the lower right, you see Ted Southern and Peter Homer displaying the gloves that they used to win prizes in the Astronaut Glove Challenge this year. And They were both invited to the Johnson Space Center to exhibit their innovations in spacesuit gloves to the spacesuit engineers at the Johnson Space Center. So again, that's another kind of development that we hope to encourage. And back in the middle, bottom, is a photo of the laser motive team. They were the winners this year for the power beaming challenge. And I had mentioned Kansas City Space Pirates earlier. They were there. They got within 50 meters of the top, but didn't quite make it there. And but the laser motive team climbed to 1 kilometer using laser power beam from the ground. Quite a great accomplishment. Both teams will be back this year for the next round of that competition. Okay, so in this coming year, as we mentioned, it's an ongoing program. We're preparing for a strong tether, power beaming, and green flight challenges. We have 3 new challenges selected, and we'll be announcing those today. We'll also be selecting new allied organizations to run each of those challenges. And of course, as I mentioned, the program's received a lot of positive attention from the new administration in terms of promoting prize challenges for all federal agencies. And we are interested as well in partnerships with other agencies if that becomes possible as well. For 2011, as part of the Office of the Chief Technologist, we will have a Level 2 program office established at the Marshall Space Flight Center, and that, I think, will greatly enhance our ability to encourage partnership opportunities and technology infusion. And our budget request for this coming year is $10 million, and that's for each year through 2015. So that's a big increase over what we've been able to do in the past. It should enable us to have more challenges, of course, and possibly challenges with much larger prizes. Just to go through the challenges we have coming on August 13th, we have the Strong Tether Challenge. That's a $2 million prize for a material that is 50% stronger than any commercially available material. A success in this challenge would be a major step forward in technologies that would be of value in many, many different fields. So far, no one has been successful, but we do have some teams coming this year, and we expect some interesting results. Power beaming, we'll have the next round of that. The team did win last year for climbing to 1 kilometer. This year, to get the Level 2 prize, $1.1 million, they have to climb to 1 kilometer, exceeding a speed of 5 meters per second. And we have the Green Flight Challenge. Currently, there are 9 registered teams working toward this. The actual competition won't be till next summer. And the goal, or the requirement, is to build an aircraft that can go 200 miles in less than 2 hours and use the energy equivalent of less than 1 gallon of gasoline per occupant. A very ambitious challenge, but one that I think will be very valuable not only for general aviation, but for aeronautics and energy systems as well. And the prize for that is $1.5 million, and there's an additional prize for the best biofueled aircraft. Okay, so today we're going to be announcing 3 new prize challenges. These are the first new ones since 2005. We have a total prize purse of $5 million. We also intend to have student-level competitions in each area, each year of these competitions. And we'll be announcing, with this announcement today, we'll be releasing an announcement of partnership opportunities for new allied organizations. And the proposals for those will be due September 13th. We hope to have selected new allied organizations for these challenges by October. At that point, they will work on the rules. We would intend to have public comment on the rules, and then would proceed with registration and competitions soon after that. We also have a request for information out for potential sponsors. These are companies or organizations that would be interested in sponsoring one of the allied organizations in conducting the challenge. And so we hope people will take notice of that as well. And you can watch for updates related to all of this at our website, the nasa.gov/challenges. So the first challenge takes Centennial challenges into space for the first time. It's a nano satellite launch challenge to place a small satellite into Earth orbit twice in 1 week. And the prize purse is $2 million. And this is to stimulate innovations in launch technology and also to encourage creation of commercial nanosat delivery services. The second one takes on the challenge of energy storage. It's the Night Rover Challenge to demonstrate a solar-powered exploration vehicle that can operate in darkness using its own stored energy. The prize purse is $1.5 million, and this is to stimulate innovations in energy storage, technologies of value in extreme space environments like the surface of the moon, and for electric vehicles and renewable energy systems on Earth as well. And the final one is the Sample Return Robot Challenge to demonstrate a robot that can locate and retrieve geologic samples from a wide and varied terrain without human control. The prize purse is $1.5 million, and this is to encourage innovations in robotic navigation and sample manipulation technologies. So we think that we have an opportunity for participatory research and development open to competitors, to allied organizations, and to sponsors for the allied organizations and teams. So we hope that there's a lot of interest in this. There's been tremendous interest in our program so far. We expect bigger and better things as we go forward. So I think we can now take any questions, if there are any. Okay. Of course, we're going to conclude the challenge we have. I think at that point we will take a look across the board at all of the possible ways that power beaming might be used. So I can't guarantee that we would pursue another power beaming challenge, but we do have great interest in that in connection with perhaps powering a rover, powering an aerial vehicle, going to higher altitudes, and powering a launch system as well. So there's a variety of applications for power beaming that might lead to lots of different interesting challenges. We'll be considering those in connection with all of the possibilities in the future. And I should mention that for 2011, really beginning next week, we'll begin the process of collecting ideas from the public and from within the industry and NASA for the challenges that we would propose for the coming year and years beyond.
So there are two companies that are spin-offs from this competition that are pursuing power beaming UAVs. Obviously, Laser Moto is one of them, and Lighthouse. The second hat I'm wearing today, I'm standing in for Michael Lane from Liftport, and he is pursuing the idea of lunar-based space elevator. And I wonder if there was any Centennial challenge or anything out of the IPP office that would consider that idea.
Well, again, that's an interesting application. When we look at challenges, we have to consider the practicality of how they would be conducted. As I mentioned, we're really going into space for the first time with a challenge this year. As we get into larger and more ambitious challenges with perhaps larger prize amounts, we can consider more ambitious types of challenges like that.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Okay, and any other questions? Okay, if not, we can conclude this, and I think we're going to a break after this. Maybe, do you have anything to say? Thank you. Okay, thanks.